Taiwo Hassan, popularly known as Ogogo, was more than just an actor. For more than 4 decades, he entertained Nigerians, mentored younger actors, built friendship across the entertainment industry, and became one of the most recognizable faces of Yoruba cinema. Now that the veteran actor is gone, the question is, who will miss Ogogo the most? From legendary actors who shared the screen with him to musicians and public figures whose lives he touched, here are 10 people who will certainly feel his absence. Mr. Latin. Tampan President Bolaji Amusan, popularly known as Mr. Latin, was among the prominent actors who joined colleagues for prayers for Ogogo during his final days. That gathering showed just how much the Yoruba film industry rallied around one of its veterans. Ogogo was not simply a colleague to many of these actors, he was part of the generation that helped build the industry they inherited. 9. Lateef Adedimeji. Lateef Adedimeji represents a younger generation of Yoruba actors who benefited from the foundation laid by veterans like Ogogo. He was among those who joined the special prayer session organized for Ogogo shortly before his death. For actors of the new generation, losing someone like Ogogo means losing a link to an important chapter in the history of Yoruba cinema. 8. Adebayo Salami. Adebayo Salami, popularly known as Oga Bello, was another veteran who publicly called for prayers for Ogogo during his health battle. Their generation helped shape Yoruba theatre and film into what it is today. Ogogo's death represents the loss of not just a colleague, but a fellow pioneer of the industry. 7. Jide Kosoko. Jide Kosoko shared decades of history with Ogogo. He was one of the people who publicly confirmed Ogogo's death and announced details surrounding his burial. Their relationship went beyond the screen. They belong to the same generation of actors who witnessed the transformation of Yoruba theatre into a major part of Nigeria's film industry. For Kosoko, Ogogo's departure is undoubtedly the loss of a long-time colleague and friend. 6. Dele Odule. Dele Odule was another veteran who shared the industry journey with Ogogo. The two actors belong to a generation that spent decades entertaining Nigerians and keeping Yoruba culture alive through film and theatre. Ogogo's death means another familiar face from that golden generation is gone. 5. Yinka Quadri. Yinka Quadri and Ogogo were part of the same legendary Yoruba film circle. In fact, Quadri was among the actors who gathered for prayers when Ogogo was battling his illness. Their relationship represents decades of shared experiences, productions, friendships, and memories. For Yinka Quadri, Ogogo was not simply another actor who passed away, he was someone who shared a significant part of his professional journey. Femi Adebayo. Femi Adebayo belongs to the generation that inherited the Yoruba film industry from veterans like Ogogo. Following Ogogo's death, Femi described him as a true pillar of Yoruba cinema, and that description says a lot. Ogogo's influence went beyond the characters he played. He represented a generation of actors who helped preserve Yoruba's stories, culture, and traditions on screen. 3. Senator Solomon Adeola Yayi. Perhaps one of the people with most personal reasons to mourn Ogogo is Senator Solomon Adeola, popularly known as Yayi. During Ogogo's final health crisis, Yayi stepped in to help facilitate medical treatment after appeals from the actor's family. Following Ogogo's death, the senator described him as a brother who believed in and worked for his cause and the cause of his people. Their relationship went beyond entertainment. Yayi's support for Ogogo during his final days showed that their bond was much deeper than politics or celebrity friendship. 2. Wasiu Ayinde, K1 The Ultimate. This one was particularly emotional. When Wasiu Ayinde, popularly known as K1 The Ultimate, paid tribute to Ogogo during a live performance, he became overwhelmed with emotions and broke down in tears. He had to step away from the microphone before eventually continuing the tribute. The moment captured something words cannot explain. Ogogo's death clearly affected K1 deeply. And number 1, we have Burna Boy. You may be wondering why Burna Boy is on this list. The connection goes back to one of the biggest Nigerian songs of recent years, Last Last. Last, e don cast, na everybody go chop breakfast. Before Burna Boy turned the word breakfast into a global pop culture reference, Ogogo had already popularized the expression in a viral movie scene.
ọ̀rẹ́ mi lágbájá ó ti ṣe wedding tàmẹ̀dò ó ti ṣe introduction no gbogbo ala máa jẹ breakfast.
Gbogbo wa la máa jẹ breakfast. The phrase associated with Ogogo's famous line about eventually eating breakfast became part of Nigerian slang and was referenced in Burna Boy's hit song. So in a very unusual way, Ogogo's influence traveled from Yoruba cinema into Afrobeat and then to audience around the world. That is the kind of legacy that survives death. Taiwo Hassan Ogogo may not be here physically, but his voice, his characters, his movies, his humor and his influence will continue to live on. From veteran actors like Yinka Quadri, Jide Kosoko and Dele Odule, to younger stars like Femi Adebayo, Lateef Adedimeji, to people outside Nollywood like Burna Boy and Wasiu Ayinde, Ogogo touched many lives. And perhaps the biggest proof of his impact is simple. Even after his death, people are still talking about him. May Taiwo Hassan Ogogo's soul rest in perfect peace.